Welcome to Fact or Freestyle.
People love Dave Nourie, and they always answer the phone when he calls. When we get him on Zoom, we ask him to confirm rumors.
Let's see how far down the rabbit hole we go.
Okay, now how is my audio?
Yeah, loud and clear. Well, I wouldn't say loud, but it's
Okay.
nice and clear.
How did you get that backdrop?
Do you see why? Do you see why I love Jim McKay? Did you just hear what he said? He said, well, "It's not loud, but it's clear."
Right.
And I was like, it's the precision of this artist is spectacular.
That's all that matters, the clarity.
Yeah.
So how did you get
So
that
I had to
backdrop?
fly with this. I had to fly
fly
with
with-
this. I just unpacked it.
Are you first class? Are you first class?
This is there. Well, I don't know that you really call it first class because there's not other classes. So I guess you could call it whatever class you want, but it's mono class.
I'm having a flashback when I was driving in Seattle and I was talking to you and Mark Eaton and I missed my exit. So I just want to make
We have
sure.
one coming up 3.5 miles. By the way, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, look at this.
I'm the Zoom stenographer. I'll be notes.
Joe, everything you're saying is going to be recorded. So we'll
Discuss. Then we'll send everybody the notes.
okay, what's on the agenda, Joe?
Okay. So I really like the which one is more true game. And let's field test this with some guys who I'm not going to say are jaded, but are steeped in, they're connoisseurs of jokes. So I'm not going to say that they're jaded, but they're connoisseurs of jokes. So the first one we have, it's called Which is More True and Why? Either James McGraw is an overwanter or Pedro Mello is an underwanter.
Yeah. So we dove right into that last night, Joe. If you would have been here, you would have been able to miss that.
If I had been there, you would not have had to tell me that what I just said was ABD.
So it's going over really well. We already have new additions that we're going to be adding.
New bits or new characters?
New characters. New true. Which one's more true? Yeah, so just new people that we can add in there. The best story that came out of last night was I was I was asking Bill Nitschke questions about
Okay.
Is this the exit?
Yeah, 150.
No, this is one.
Next, not this one.
I was asking Bill the questions, which one is truer, and Brett Downs was right across eating dinner. And we asked the question, is Rick Allison an open booker, or open booker, or is Brett Downs an over name dropper?
And what did Brett?
No, so Brett didn't hear that. And I said, hey, Brett, how's your dinner? And he stands up. He's like, it's amazing. And the funny thing is, they put a K on my corn on the to-go box. And we're like, oh my gosh, he's not only an over name dropper, he's an over initial dropper. He's taking it to the next level. So everybody loves it. So who have we done? So we did Huffman, we did Nitschke, we did Carter, and we did Mark Eaton and Chris Young together. So we've already got 5 people in the bag. Where am I going?
That's great. Do you have footage of it?
Well, I think I deleted the file again.
I'm not going to say
But
clips
there's a
or it didn't
professional
happen.
videographer capturing the moments, the magic.
All right. Good.
Semi-pro.
Good.
Okay, so
He makes a living at it. He's professional.
That's true.
we're solid for today, other than you're not here and everyone's bumming. Everyone I talk to is like, Dave,
I
it's
think
nice to see you. Where's Joe?
Keith,
Can I
Keith
tell-
King is trying to book you a flight, by the way. Keith King, he's looking into flights for you.
Keith King, dude, like within seconds of Brian posting that, Keith texted me as if like I was already following the breaking news story.
Breaking news.
Okay. God, I hate when I have an update. I just want to look at my notes. Not now.
Well, I have an update for you guys.
Okay, please, because I have some show notes and important new bits. Okay,
So
go ahead.
as you are well aware, when I finally left my house this year and went to York Jam, I was super stoked. And then when I went to Woodward, I was super stoked. I was that was a coaching workshop for James McGraw at Woodward. But even though I was working, it was I got stoked, super stoked.
You're on this for like 8 miles.
We then decided, Angie and I then decided that it was time for us to accelerate the Terra Home project and to get her house on the market. And we had been doing it little bits at a time, but then we began a sprint, and it didn't end until, unbeknownst to me, that it would end last Monday, and we got it on the market. This house, this is when we are going to combine our houses, and we're going to do renovation to the Terra Home. The first phase of which is to fully insulate and build an apartment on top of the riding spot. It plumbed like an apartment, office building. I can work out of it, and dudes can stay there as part of a proper retreat. Right now, it's covered, but it gets cold. So that's why I'm not there.
Because why? Wait, why are you not here?
I am going through right now the post-stress
Of York Jam?
period of all of these fucking pursuits that I've been after to tune this property up.
What's the lesson here then? Maybe not as many. Are you an over? What's
I'm an
James?
overcommitter. James is
An
an
over-
overwanter, and I am an overcommitter. I went hard, not knowing how much. I didn't realize how.
I'm totally stressing out here. Here's Dave Nourie stressing out. My phone updated over the weekend. Here's my task list. This is where I have all my important data.
Yep.
It's completely blank. I have nothing. I'm serious. Like my business notes, everything is gone.
If you started,
I just did.
Was it is that on your iCloud? Is that on your Apple?
I don't know.
There's a chance. So Brett, there's a chance he also connected it to his Google account, and he didn't set his new phone to the Google account.
I can't believe this. I can't believe I just did this, guys.
It's not. You have to.
It's saved.
But
It's just a matter of connecting it. Go into an Apple store.
No, you guys, I need it. Okay, I'm gonna have to go off memory. All right, so the reason that you're here is because you had to help Angie get the house on the market.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Okay.
I prioritize that. Now, come on. I should have prioritized that. Like, this is absolutely the right decision. We know that, right? Even though I'm giving grave disappointment to everyone.
Yeah, it's the whole vibe of the contest is just tainted.
I know, and James is like, why can't I get Joe to my event? It just leaves him wanting, right? And he needs a little bit of wanting. He's the first guy in the buffet, taking all the car placing trophies. Hold on a second. Right, I'm back.
Maybe
an offer for the house just came in.
Oh, nice.
So where were we?
We were just confirming that you aren't here, and that's it.
Terry Adams is very upset.
I know, because I gave him props on some video, and then he commented back. He's like, "You going to be in Colorado?" And at that time, I knew that I wasn't, and I didn't want to say anything, so I left him hanging. I cleared all of this with Marty, by the way.
Of course. Okay, so so today I think we're covered. We're just going to do more of the, which is more true. It seems like it's going over really well so far. And a couple of more bits that I wanted to pitch you on that I don't have my notes, so I have to go off of memory, and you know how well that goes. But
I know.
I was thinking about more questions that aren't interview, like a standard interview question. Like, what did you do 10 minutes ago? What did you do 10 months ago? And what are you going to do 10 years along that lines? And so maybe it would be, what trick did you first learn? What trick is going to be your trick for today's event or right now? And then what's trick are you working for or towards this coming year?
I think this is great. So I think you should ask this of Mickey Gaidos. And there's a couple of nuances that I would like for you to weave into that. And I think, Jim, what's going to be important about this bit is not so much capturing what Mickey says, but capturing Dave's reaction to what Mickey says. And so you get a handful of guys around, including Art Thomason, and you ask Mickey, hey, the tricks what were you doing 10 years ago? What are you doing 10 minutes ago? And then what are you going to be doing in 10 years or in the future?
Oh, so you're going to do the same time frame, but with asking about what tricks, as I was doing about more.
So follow me here. It's
Okay.
The tricks. And then when he's done talking, say, no. I mean, like tricks, like prank tricks. Like,
oh, I got it.
And then you can say, like, what were some of the great, like, I thought I heard something about you messing with Scott O'Brien's axle peg one time during a trip, and that Scott got super mad, and you guys got into a real big, like, almost friendship ending fight, and then you had to kiss up to Scott or something like that. Like, you really had to beg his forgiveness.
This is going to sound insane, but does that story deal with jizz?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
And that's the story
So
I
that's-
want
Okay.
for Dave to hear for the first time.
So how do I pull it back up on
Okay.
my phone?
I know
From
that story. now.
Mickey with
Okay.
Art Thomason, who was in the room.
Okay.
Dave will not see this coming.
No one would.
So to speak.
Yeah. Okay.
Woo. Okay.
All right. So now let's rejoin Dave. So Dave, did you get?
No, I kind of missed it a bit. So tell me.
Perfect.
Good.
You do the 10-year thing with tricks and Mickey, and then you wait for him to finish, and then you say, no. I want to hear about your trick, like prank history. So 10 years ago, and say that you had heard something about when he messed with Scott O'Brien's bike with his axle peg, and Scott found it and like seriously overreacted.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Scott, I mean, that would,
Like,
he can be an
it would set him off because
overreactor.
he's an overreactor.
Overreactor.
And so this was almost a friendship ending thing. And it took like like Art Thomason was in the room. Like there was a huge group of people trying to broker this.
Oh wait, I just have to tell you, my notes are back. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
good.
go ahead. Now I can listen.
There was a
Okay,
room
I
full of
think I
people
got it.
trying to broker this piece. Okay.
Yeah.
And it
Okay.
was a coming of age. I mean, he had to kiss up to him like so bad, and he
Okay.
went the distance. And you know,
And,
anyway,
You know, just,
it's a good
just so you
life
know, I
affirming
think
story.
we have a lot on our plate for this event already with what we're doing. That's working really well. So
Okay.
I don't know how much. I mean, we can probably try to pull this one off, but I just don't want to have too high of expectations.
I mean, I get it, totally get it. You know, Jim heard pieces of this story, and I'm sure he can. I'm sure Art can help. You know, make time and sort of make this happen. So we've got options. Don't worry about it. This is a good one.
So here's my other idea. We have to come up. This is going to really have us really think hard about this bit. But I think we should do freestyle riddles. So you know how they have those escape rooms where you have to go into this room and then you have to solve like this problem in order to get out? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
So here's my thought behind it. There's a lot of common interests that we have as Flatlanders specifically, where we like the challenge of learning the trick, you know, the actual physical aspect. We like the challenge of creating something new. And we're really good problem solvers. So kind of like what we were talking with RL, how it's like everything.
All he does is try to fix stuff, improve stuff.
And he goes maybe
Creates a problem by trying.
Yeah, he maybe creates more of a havoc and a problem than.
But then he
initial
solves
problem.
it. Oh,
Based on the
I
head
really
tube
got
angle.
myself in a pickle this time.
Right, and like you could just maybe learn how to, like for me, remember when Lee Reynolds said like all these guys have all these decisions on what bikes to ride, what's geometry, what head tube, and now we're just
we are almost at the venue.
We're just you know, we just rode whatever he rode, you know, and I wish RL would understand that.
Jeez, all right.
Maybe the head tube angle is just going to make the trick a little bit more challenging to learn. Right?
We're like 5
Bar
minutes.
tricks, yeah.
So with this understanding that I think all riders have that desire to solve problems.
Yes.
We're going to create something that's going to challenge that.
Oh.
And I don't know how. I don't know how easy that would be, because it would be something like
you got
I'll give you an example. Here's my example.
Sure.
You're in a room, Joe, and it's a cement room. The walls, there's no windows. There's only one door. It's a cement door. It's locked from the outside. There's no handle. And all you have is a board and a saw. How do you get out of this room?
Hold on a sec. Okay, this is great. I'm gonna suggest a couple of replacements because you inspired me to do something. You are in a room. You're in a room. You have my defective profile free coaster, and you don't have all the right tools. And what you have to do is fix and rebuild the free coaster with these hackadocious tools that you have. And the whole time that you're in there, James McGraw is in there with you yelling. And so the only way to get out is to fix the fucking free coaster.
And that unlocks the door.
And that unlocks the door.
Yeah, that's perfect. But there has to be a solution. So what's the solution for my riddle?
Okay, so your riddle.
Board. You have a board and a saw, a hand saw. That's all you have, and you got to figure out how to get out of this room.
Concrete.
Concrete. Walls,
no windows.
Ceiling, no windows.
Walls, ceiling. The door.
Door, but it's locked from the outside. There's not even
from the
handles.
outside. It's clearly sound. Can anyone see in?
No, it's actually dark in there too.
Can they hear? They can hear, I'm sure.
Possibly they could hear. Yeah.
Okay. So take the saw and cut the board vertically.
Yeah.
And then begin to saw one of the pieces, but scream in pain as though you're cutting your own leg.
You're
then,
really close.
And then take the board and break it and scream even louder, and then don't say anything for the next
That's really good.
8 hours.
Here's
One of those
another
motherfuckers
solution.
going to walk in the room.
Here's another solution. You cut the board in half, and then you take the two halves, you put them together, that makes a hole, and then you climb through the hole.
This whole fucking thing was a pun.
And that's the point, because puns are fun. So that's the kind of thing that we have to figure out. The solution is so, like, it's ludicrous.
Well,
it can be one of them, because people will come up with other zany ideas like you screaming, but you got to scream louder than James. That's not going to work.
No. If you're in the room with the board, you don't have to. You scream, but James isn't in there with you because James is gonna scream and rat you out that you're not actually cutting your leg off. James is in there with the defective profile free coaster that they sell with a straight face.
All right.
And when you ask warranty, they tell you to buy a replacement part.
Right. Okay. So this has.
Do not drive over a profile racing bridge, by the way.
Okay.
If profile racing decides to get into selling fire extinguishers, do not buy one of those.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, I'm done.
You sure? I know you were.
I don't know.
Your profile.
I was.
Next slide. Okay. So here's my next idea. So asking a little more serious questions like, what trick are you most proud of?
Yeah.
And then mixing it up with kind of a little bit more, this one?
Yeah, this one.
A little more silly questions like, what size shoelaces are you running right now? Who knows that?
Right.
In millimeters, and
Yeah.
Is it millimeters or is it inches?
Is it millimeters or is it inches?
So if they answer you in millimeters, say,
Which
what
ones
is
are
it in
good?
inches? And then same the other way.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then I've been asking this, what's your first trick that you learned and why? What's something that you did as a youngster that you wouldn't do today? So I feel like there's a lot of things that people don't.
So let's get a little more precise on the word choice around youngster.
Yeah. I mean,
does that maybe you want to say like 13? Youth?
Yeah. No, but I think it's a little older than 13.
Okay.
It should
Can you
involve
vote?
cars and stuff. Right?
Okay, so
When you really
how
start
about
making
this?
bad decisions.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think 18.
18. I don't want any trouble on the internet. Honestly, I don't want any trouble on the internet. It's when you're
18
18.
plus.
18 years old. I don't want to tell any stories.
So here's the whole premise though. So we ask about what you did then that you wouldn't do now, and maybe why. And then once we know that, then we're determined to allow them to be able to do that, to live out that youthful, because it's freedom to have that ability to be crazy. And why?
It is true. I see what you're saying, which is
Pass the light to the back here, to the back. The next left here, right here.
Hey, really quick, I have one quick question. We're pulling into the event space now. I have a really quick idea. So one is, what is the best trick? And a follow-up to that is, can you do that trick? And then the second part is, what is the ugliest trick?
There's yellow rails.
I'd be kind of curious if people have strong feelings about if there's a trick that they just think is ugly and they won't do it. And then the follow-up to that is, do you do that ugly trick?
Oh, that is so funny. Yes. Because it's a setup.
It would be funny if they didn't do the best trick, but they did do the ugliest trick.
And I know they absolutely will. You know, the reason, yes.
I feel like the weight of that would be pretty funny if that happened, just all sinking in, like, holy fuck, what am I doing?
Now, they probably can do the ugly trick.
I don't know how to drive James's truck. Okay, what was
That's
that?
James' truck?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and they probably can do that trick, but you know, it's like riding a moped. Like, you won't do it in front of other people.
Right. We
Even
could
though
just
it's
ask,
fun.
we could ask the question, what's the hardest trick? Okay, and then do it instead of not.
No, the best trick.
I mean, the best trick.
What's the best trick?
The best trick.
And then say, okay, do it. And then if they can't
Can
do it,
you
okay,
do
great.
that trick?
And then what's the ugliest trick? And
See,
then they
that's
say,
the-
and then you say, okay, do it.
do you do that ugly trick?
No, I think we should just say do it. Like, have them have their bike and just say, okay, do it. Right?
I gotta insist on, you have to have, can you do that ugly trick? Like,
Okay.
grinding it in, because the way he said it was, what is the best trick? Can you do
Right.
that trick? Then what is the ugliest trick? Then do you do that ugly trick?
Oh, okay. Do you do that ugly trick? Okay. I gotta pee like a racehorse.
I feel like I would have to say, like, oh fuck, I do the ugliest trick. Actually, I don't. There's a trick that I've never learned because I thought it was ugly. True story.
What is that trick?
And this kind of embarrassing true story. I've never learned to hang five. I started flatland and I thought that was the ugliest trick ever. I don't even want to fuck with it. I never learned it, Joe. I can't do hang five because I thought it was fucking ugly. I didn't want to learn it.
So when I did that, when I won the hang five contest at the OG, beating Matthias Dendois, beating Dane Beardsley, you watched me do the ugliest trick longer than anyone else in that place.
Yeah.
That must have been so gross for you.
Yeah. Not a fan. It's funny. That's a staple of Flatland too. It's kind of embarrassing. Honestly, I don't talk about it very much because I'm embarrassed about it. But that's the reason behind it. I feel like I could learn it. I just don't want to. But
Oh shit, that's funny. That's
okay.
funny.
I'm alone. I think we gotta wrap this.
Yeah, I think we
Let's
should
wrap this.
Yeah, I think the only other idea is just along that line was just getting more creative. And I think we're on a roll there with
Yes.
their interview style questions, because we don't typically just do direct interview questions, but that are just going to be way more thoughtful in not just the presentation and like specifically how we say it, but also, yeah, where we can go with it.
We've grown up so much.
Exactly. Okay. Cool. So we're just gonna get out there and do what we do, and
Yeah.
All right, go ride bikes.
It's going to be a little bit of play it by ear. My expectations, I don't have any set ones because it is a contest, and sometimes people just don't want to come out of that zone to do an interview.
right.
So
And we can't do it. We can't do it on the fly because the music's too loud and it echoes like crazy in there.
yeah, it's
Yep.
loud as hell in there.
If it was outdoors, like at the York Jam, it would be a different. Yeah, it would be a different thing. But we weren't there. You know, our level of success wasn't there at York Jam. That obviously was the door that opened up, bringing Jim on, locking
My
in more sponsors.
replacement. All right, so
We won't talk about that now, Joe.
shoot on regular camera, iPhone as opposed to through Zoom, because it'll just be so much better that way.
No, yeah.
All right.
Jim is taking all the. I mean, I might film some stuff on mine, but Jim is taking all the interview style stuff.
Oh,
It's-
I was directing that toward you, Dave. And then the other thing I would suggest is to not delete it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
I jumped back
go
to the phone.
go have fun.
All right. See you,
All
Joe.
right.
Hey, can I post this?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
Yeah.
Factor